Now if you remember some time ago we went and did the NextBase 402G review, and that's it, see it on my windscreen there. Unfortunately it's developed a little bit of a problem, and I know a lot of people out there have the same issue. It's basically you go along on your trip, and at the end of your trip you turn off the ignition and this happens. It goes through a little loop of cycling itself on and off. Now it was doing this for a little while, and it was annoying, but it wasn't bothering me too much. But then I realised what was happening was the last video, the last 5-minute video that it was recording, it wasn't closing it off properly, and it was ending up corrupted. Now the problem with that is, if you have an accident, you have a crash, the first thing you do is you're going to turn off the ignition, or the camera is going to be dislodged from the power supply, and what's going to happen then is it's just going to cut out, go into that little loop and not close off the last video, and the last video will be the thing that you'll be looking for to, probably to prove that you weren't at fault for the accident. So it kind of undermines the whole purpose of the dash cam if you have that problem. So what I did was I wrote to NextBase, because the camera's just a couple of months out of warranty, and I said to them, this has failed, and there's obviously a lot of other people have this issue, because I can see a lot about it online, that it's actually the little battery that's meant to last for 6 minutes is gone faulty. So they wrote back eventually, because it took a couple of attempts, and what they said was, because it's out of warranty, they wouldn't be repairing it free. It would cost £31 for me to send it in and get it fixed. The alternative was, they said that they would send out the part for free, and I could fit it myself if I was if I was any good at soldering. Well, luckily enough, I used to work in electronics, and I have no problem with fitting a battery on a circuit board. It's not that difficult for me, and it means that I'll get the camera turned round quicker. But what I'm going to do is show you the process of doing that, because that's the battery arrived. So we'll show you that in the next part of this video. NextBase camera, there it is. Now that's the box it originally came in, just that we're on the same page. And here's what it sent me. Nice little compliment slip. And in here is the battery. Now, it only lasts for 6 minutes, hence the very small size of this thing. But it needs that in order to be able to finish off the last film, so that it can close that file off properly. That's why it's essential. In future, I would probably advise anybody else not to go for one that had a battery, because they will go eventually and try and get a model that uses a capacitor instead. At the end of the day, if you've got a capacitor one, as long as it's had enough time to charge, probably will have, it probably charges as soon as you turn it on. It's going to be far more reliable in the long run than one of these. I don't think this is a good idea at all, actually. Anyway, they also sent me via email these work instructions for taking the camera to bits and fitting this. Now, if you don't have any soldering skills and you don't own one of these things, a soldering iron, you're probably going to want to either send it into them to get it fixed for their £31, wouldn't be me, or I would complain more strongly. The fact that I didn't want to send it in because then I'm going to have downtime without the camera at all. I just felt that I could do this myself, save any trouble. So let's give this a shot. So first off, they're telling you that you need tools like this. Well, I've got some tools. I'm going to grab what I need. These are handy. This is a little screwdriver set. Get them off the eBuyer for like £2.99. I think Screwfix does this sort of thing as well. But for working on tiny little screws, all different types, these things are invaluable. I need a tool for prising this thing open. Well, I don't have one of these, but what I do have is an old credit card. So I'm going to give this a go. I tell you, to ensure it's powered off, well, there's no danger there seeing as the battery doesn't work. Take out the flash card. Thoroughly recommend SanDisk products, by the way. They are what I've been using for a while, and they're just reliable. I can't rate them highly enough. Screws removed during the battery replacement are of different lengths. Replace the same screws back in their original positions to avoid damaging the product. So that's advice I would always stick to. I tend to lay screws down as they come out in some sort of order. That's perfect. Just lay these down together, off, like so. Your GPS radio antenna. So you see these screws are actually longer than the original ones I took out, so put them there. And that's the GPS antenna loose. To get this slightly apart, and then what we want to do is run the credit card round to loosen off the rest of the display. So what I've got is this, which is less than ½ centimetre. So we'll get this in, although there doesn't seem to be a little lip that you can get it in. Well, ultimately I had to use my fingernail to prise it open, and I've just been running the credit card round it, but it seems to be coming away now, so quite happy with that. And I did as they said, didn't twist the screwdriver in it, so I've not damaged it in any way, which is pretty cool. There's only one corner being held now. There you go. So, credit card. Excellent for using as a plastic prying tool. And there we go. We're inside the guts of the camera. And there's the little blighter. that battery, and it looks like it's actually expanded. And what's more, there's actually a bit of rubber or foam that holds it in place here on the new one. The original doesn't seem to have that at all. Polarity is crucial. If you don't put things back the way that they should be, then it's just not going to work. So we can work in here. Now, the battery is secured in place with double-sided tape. It can be lifted from the main circuit board now. Be gentle, as too much force could also pull the wires underneath the battery away from the circuit board. You pull the tracks away, which connects the LED light. Once the battery is removed, the battery connections are exposed, so they can be desoldered with a soldering iron. Once the old battery has been desoldered from the circuit board, the new battery can be soldered on, making sure the red and black wires are soldered on in the same configuration as before, as I just said. The battery should have double-sided tape on the side with no writing. Remove the backing from the double-sided sticky tape. Before placing the battery back into the camera, first tuck the cables for the LED light underneath where the battery will sit, as in the picture below. Now place the battery so that the base of the battery is butted up against the power button and the double-sided tape is facing the main circuit board. Right, so let's get this off of here carefully. Yeah, you can see where it was stuck to these cables. And that's it. Now you can see how that has expanded. It's like a little inflated pouch. Now that is not good. You can see on this one, I'll take out the pack. The new one is about half the thickness of that. If you look there, it's gone massive. So let's get this desoldered. This trusty soldering iron is it must be nearly 30 years old, because it was 20 years ago that I was using it, and I think it had done a turn before that. It's in this soldering iron, seeing as I've not used it in about 5 or 10 years. Can't remember the last time I used this in anger. There we go. That's the old one off. Now the new one. I'll tin that first. In fact, use this solder here. nice good joint on it. You can tell I've not used this for a while. Just expose that. Tin this as well. There we go. Like that. Turn that off. And all we need to do is peel this off. We'll stick this back in place. There we are. And it's just the reverse process to put it all back together again. Put these 4 longer screws back in to put the GPS antenna back in place. For £140 you don't expect to have to be carrying out repairs on it after 14 months, so a bit of a black mark for NextBase in that regard. Disappointing, I have to say. You know, if it had been a camera that was only, say, £30 or £40 and it lasted for just over a year, you wouldn't have so much cause for complaint. But the fact that it's meant to be a premium device, it's a premium price, it's one of what Halford stock, it's one of their more expensive devices. You expect it to have quality components, and they have been designed to last. You know, the fact that they've put in a cheap battery, and I'm not convinced that the part that I'm replacing it with is of superior quality. So only time will tell in that regard. At least I know that what I'll have to do in the next time is just purchase one. I've checked online, and you can actually buy the batteries for somewhere in the order of about £6 or £7, I think I saw. So that being the case, that's what we need to do at a future date if it decides to go again. But I mean, these batteries will not last forever, but you expect them to last more than just a year. And as I say, in future I would more than likely not go for anything with a battery in it for this sort of purpose and go for one of these capacitive charged models. Anyway, that's it, back up and running, and I can go and put it back in the car. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another review, I think, shortly. That's all for now.